Hi, I'm John Cranton with JimFish.tv. Let's take a look at the 2013 NFC East preview. We got 4 teams in a stock division with quarterback play and a lot of all-around talent. Probably the toughest division in football. Remember the Giants 2 years ago, they won the division with just a 9-7 record. Oh, and then they followed that up with a Super Bowl victory. And last year, the Redskins were the surprise champs with a 10-6 record. It's really a division stocked with talent and pretty good quarterback play. Start off with the Giants. They're projected at 9 wins. A year ago, they were 9.5, and they disappointed with a 9-7 record, just short of the playoffs, too. The offense last year was balanced, 12th in the NFL in passing, 14th in rushing. Much better balance behind quarterback Eli Manning, 26 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, just over 3,900 yards passing. But it was kind of a quiet off-season for this team, not a lot of changes. The Giants do add Syracuse offensive tackle Justin Pugh in the first round. You got wide receiver Victor Cruz with over 1,000 yards receiving, and Hakeem Nicks. They did let go of a 1,000-yard rusher in Ahmad Bradshaw because they like young running back Andre Brown, who averaged 5.3 yards per carry, and running back David Wilson is a former first-round pick and ACC Player of the Year who came out early. Now the defense, plenty of talent up front with defensive end Justin Tuck, Jason Pierre-Paul. He slipped to 6.5 sacks. And they add linebacker Keith Rivers and re-sign veteran defensive tackle Sean Rivers. However, the defense underachieved last year, 28th against the pass, allowing 254 yards passing per game, and they were 25th against the run. They seem to be more focused at times on getting sacks than fundamentals. Now, the secondary has safety Stevie Brown and his 8 interceptions, plus cornerback Prince Amakamura is slowly making progress. Now, they used the draft to upgrade both lines, adding size and depth. Road players really killed the Giants last season, 3-5 straight up, 3-4-1 against the spread, and that was after a 2-1 start. Now, the 2013 schedule, it is challenging. They open at Dallas, and playing against Denver is going to be tough. Then the road schedule is a real tough challenge at the Bears, Eagles, Redskins, Chargers, Lions. Boy, throw in home games against the Packers, Seahawks, Cowboys, and Broncos. Not an easy schedule for the Giants. The only good news is that the bye week comes in week 10, which is a plus, but still over 9 wins will be challenging with this schedule. Now the Dallas Cowboys, we'll take a look at them as a possible division winner or maybe second place. They're projected at 8.5 wins. They were also 8.5 a year ago, but they disappointed. 8-8 record, losing their last 2 games. Cowboys were 4-4, both straight up, at home and away. Now, when is this team going to live up to all this talent? Well, maybe when they improve the coaching staff. Jason Garrett often looks over his head at the owner, but they did make a change with the coaching staff dumping defensive coordinator Rob Ryan and bringing in 72-year-old Monty Kiffin. Kiffin really didn't do a good job the last couple of years with USC defense. Kiffin is faced with the task of converting a 3-4 defense under Rob Ryan into a 4-3 Tampa 2 cover scheme that has become his trademark. Now the defense has linebacker DeMarcus Ware, 11.5 sacks last year, along with defensive end Anthony Spencer, 11 sacks. But still, this team was 19th against the pass and 22nd against the run. They moved up 2 years ago to draft LSU cornerback Morris Claiborne with a number 6 overall pick. The same year they added Brandon Carr from Kansas City, $50 million. But really, the secondary didn't improve. Now, the offense was potent last year, in passing anyway, 3rd in passing the football, 295.6 yards per game, but they plummeted to 31st in rushing because of injuries, but also because of offensive coordinator Bill Callahan. He's a proponent of passing the football first. Callahan is back for another go, and he's working with 33-year-old quarterback Tony Romo, 28 touchdowns and 19 picks, 4,903 yards passing, but 36 sacks. And he had more yards, but nearly doubled his interception ratio after throwing only 10 in 2011. That was part of the drawback in passing the ball more. Now, running back DeMarco Murray had 663 yards. He's a terrific talent, but he's been hurt in each of the last 2 years. And it should be a potent passing attack, again with knucklehead wide receiver Des Bryant, 1,382 passing yards. 12 touchdowns. You got tight end Jason Witten. He also had over 1,000 yards receiving. And Miles Austin. The never-ending problems on the offensive line could be helped with first-round pick center Travis Frederick. He's out of Wisconsin. And Dallas will be playing 5 preseason games in August, and their regular season schedule doesn't quite look that bad outside of road games at the Bears, Saints, and the Lions, and getting the bye week in week 11 is actually a bonus. Now keep in mind, Dallas was a money-burning 6-10 against the spread last season. Coming up in third place, we'll take a look at the Washington Redskins, the division champion Redskins. They bring a 7-1 run both straight up and against the spread into the new season. But that lone loss was the playoff game, 24-14 to Seattle, a game that they lost. Quarterback Robert Griffin. Now Griffin electrified the ground game, tops in the NFL with 169.6 yards rushing per game. He also finished with 20 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions as a rookie, and 815 yards rushing, 6.8 yards per carry, but he is rehabbing. So they got quarterback Kirk Cousins, who had 4 touchdowns and 3 picks. He had a very good completion percentage of 68.8%. And they had mobile quarterback Pat White. So this is still going to be our ground-oriented offense with a safe passing attack. And they have running back Alfred Morris. Boy, what a find he was. 1,613 yards rushing, 4.8 yards per carry. The passing offense was 20th and has respectable wide receivers Pierre Garçon and Santana Moss. Moss just 573 yards as they look to run first. Now the Washington defense is not balanced at all. 30th in the NFL against the pass, 5th against the run. Stout up front with linebacker London Fletcher. He led the team in tackles, but also with interceptions with 5, which shows you the weak point of the defense, the secondary. Overrated and out of position safety Brandon Merriweather is back. The guys to watch for will be rookie safeties Philip Thomas and Bakari Rambo as they learn the NFL. Both rookies racked up interceptions in college. Rambo had 16 in 4 seasons, and Thomas had 13 in 3 seasons. Now, Jim Haslett defense is very demanding of the safeties, and they have a second-round pick in David Amerson out of North Carolina State, so a very young secondary, a lot of new looks. Now, beginning September 29th, the Redskins play 5 of 7 on the road, a grueling stretch in October, and they end the season playing 4 of 6 at home. Now, we're going to take a look at last place as the Philadelphia Eagles. Win total up to 6.5. A year ago, the Eagles were projected to win 10 games and the division, but boy, what a flop they were at 4-12, costing Coach Andy Reid his job. Reid's West Coast style is out, and former Oregon coach Chip Kelly jumps to the NFL with his speed-orient, no-huddle offense. But really, is it going to work at this level? Reid hitched his wagon to coach killer quarterback Michael Vick, and it sunk him. Vick is back with the Eagles, plus Philly gave mobile quarterback Dennis Dixon a 2-year contract. Dixon was the quarterback at Oregon under Kelly, a guy who has no previous NFL coaching experience. Now, the Eagles' offense last season balanced, 13th in passing, 13 in rushing. But quarterback Vick, just 12 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 332 yards rushing. It's actually a lot of skill position, speed, and talent with running back LaShawn McCoy, 840 yards. Wide receiver Deshaun Jackson in his 700 yards. Wide receiver Jeremy Maclin, as well as tight end Brent Selleck in his 811 yards. But the new offensive coordinator is Pat Shurmur, working with Kelly on the fast option attack. But remember, guys, NFL defenses are fast too. The offensive line gets help with tackle Lane Johnson with the 4th overall pick in the draft, and Zach Ertz with the 31st overall pick in the 2013 draft. They took, and remember, this is the team that took USC quarterback Matt Barkley. Now, the Philadelphia defense, boy, they certainly need an overhaul up front after allowing 126.3 yards rushing per contest. That was 23rd in the NFL. Secondary, the Eagles was a hot spot last season, and there are a few improvements with Nate Allen, Colt Anderson, newcomer Patrick Chung at safety, and Bradley Fletcher. Brandon Hughes is going to step in at cornerback. So this could be the foundation on offensive change in the NFL, the way Kelly is going to run it. However, a lot of offensive coaches have come to the NFL with great success in college, but flopped, such as Steve Spurrier, Bobby Petrino, Butch Davis, Lou Holtz, and Nick Saban. Now, the Eagles are on a 7-2 run over the total, and they were a miserable 3-12-1 against the spread. They're going to be playing 4 of their first games on the road. That's not going to help this team get off to a good start. And the very first game of the season, they're going to be playing at Washington. Check out the total on that game. Seems to be very high, doesn't it, with 2 teams that have new schemes and some quarterback questions. That's all for this week. Make sure you check out JimFeist.tv for more NFL and college football previews.